3 types of brains. Now, as I talk about the neurological template, I have to spend a little bit more time on the different brains, okay? Because of the way our past, I need to discuss this because as you go forward, it's good to know what kind of brain you have, sexually speaking. The brain template, or what has become called the arousal template in the neuroscience field, is very important to understand. I wrote a book called Sex, Men, and God way back in 2002, and I explain the neural pathways and how we create a sexual template. Now, here is the gist of that. When you have a sexual encounter with self, porn, objects, as we discussed, you get these endogenous opiates, you attach to whatever it is. Now, this chemical elixir drives you into what you want. We talked about the Pavlovian response, ring the bell, feed the dog. You literally attach to whatever you reinforce. So this is really important as we talk about the sexual brains. Now, when you do this again and again, you actually are creating a sexual template. Your template is attaching, it's maturing, it's connecting, whether it's relational sex or whether it's object sex. It's continuing to grow. So in the book, Sex, Men, and God, I talk about 3 types of sexual brains. So let me talk about this. Number 1, the unifocused brain, which sounds great, right? Which is essentially that you have connected to someone, a soul, a person, in a relational way. You had been exclusive, monogamous in a sexual relationship, even if you've had a few in a row. Each time you would have been connecting only to that one person, desiring sex with that one person. And if sex wasn't happening with that person, you weren't going off the farm and finding something else, whether real or imaginary. The unifocused brain is very powerful and is something that you can move towards, regardless of where you've been in the past, move towards creating that relational unifocused brain. The second brain is a dual focused brain. Now, this brain is split between the object world, which is fantasy, porn, all of that, and the real world. This person will usually have a long history of fantasy, pornography, masturbation. They will oftentimes find it difficult to be present with the real person, but it does happen where they might connect to real and go back to fantasy and porn. Some people in the dual brain really have a challenge with relational sex, have sexual performance issues. Men are women. All this stuff applies to women that we're talking about. And if they do, that can be a real challenge. But oftentimes there's a dual focus. They can do some relational, but they really have a primary reinforcement schedule with the object world. And object sex and relational sex are 2 totally different things. Number 3, the multifocused brain. This person has attached to so many different stimuli, whether it's a man or woman, that it's really hard for them to get satisfaction from any one stimuli. They use lots of images, pornography. They might have lots of sexual encounters, whether they're a man or a woman, paid for encounters. And over time, they tend to sexualize almost anybody. If they have specific genders that they fantasize about, it'll be in that one gender, or it could be multi-gender. It can be objects. It can be anything. Anything can be sexualized. As simple as opening a door for this person can feel to them like a sexual gesture. Their brain is so sexualized, so many different stimuluses, that it's not really attached to anything and can sexualize anything. I find a lot of people with sexual addictions have the multifocused brain, especially those who are challenged with lust, having emotional affairs, innuendos, and all that kind of stuff, tend to have a multifocused brain. Now, regardless of what brain you have, we're going to talk about in the future how to take control of your brain sexually so that you can drive your car and create your own sexual template.